Do you know who handled bullying really, really well? True Detective. Is that what it's called?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I watch that on its own every so often as inspiration.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you could probably why don't you tell what he does?
Oh my God. So
I don't even remember.
what's the guy's a cop. He's an alcoholic cop, estranged from his wife and son, and he's a really good-looking, handsome guy. I can't think of the actor right now. He's the guy from In Bruges. Colin Farrell? Is it Colin Farrell? Yeah, I think so. Good-looking, dark-haired young man. He's not a young man anymore. He's 40-something, but still, good-looking guy. His son looks like that redheaded kid from the Green, from like the Big Green or whatever, or from.
Yeah, the Big Green.
Yeah,
the soccer
Sandlot.
movie. The fat redhead kid.
His son is like
a better
fat,
reference.
gross kid.
Yeah.
This other kid at school's fucking bullying him and like just
His
constantly
shoes are
picking
missing.
on this
That's
kid.
how it starts out. He's
Steals
like,
his
"Where are your
shoes?
shoes? I bought you shoes." And
Where's the fucking shoes?
And his stepdad is like, I'm gonna call him Colin because I forget his name. Colin Farrell's the actor. Like, drop it, Colin, just drop it. He's like, no. Where are your shoes? I bought you new shoes. I guess he bought him nice shoes. And the kid
Jordans,
doesn't want to
something.
talk about it. And
Or LeBron.
someone at school stole his shoes. And he's finding out the kid's getting bullied. And he's like, what's this guy? Casey? Casey, is that a boy's name? Casey?
Is that guy's name?
Yeah. He's like,
Is there a girl picking on you?
So he shows up at the house, and I think Casey answers the door, and he's like, "Hey, is your dad here?" And he gets his dad, and he's like, "I'm a cop." Right? They don't tell him what it's about or anything. And Dad steps outside, and he's like, "Your kid's bullying my kid," and he didn't get the answer he's looking for. Do you remember what Dad said?
I don't think
Something
he let
like-
Dad say anything.
I think he did. I think he didn't
I
get
think
the
he
answer.
just immediately began assaulting the dad in a horrific manner with brass knuckles. He just immediately decked the dad, and like the son tries to run away, and he grabs the other man's son and like headlocks him. He's like, "No, you watch this. This is for you."
His dad's taking this ass kicking for you. You continue to fuck with my boy, I will take your head and shove it up your dad's ass or something like that. Very close.
I'll come back here and fuck your dad in the ass with your mother's corpse or something like that. It's something awful.
It's great.
And like he doesn't just beat the dad up. Like the dad has to go to an ER after this. The dad is fucked.
We've all seen guys get knocked out. It's almost normal on TV, right? Not in real life, but in TV you see people get knocked out all the time. It's almost like, Taylor, shh. There's people outside. Oh, Taylor can't be quiet. I'll just hit him in the back of the head with a wrench. It's a silencing mechanism. They don't make knocking. Knocking out's a really big deal, but not on TV.
Yeah, you're going to have serious neurological damage.
Right? You're going to have traumatic brain injury for your lifetime. But no. On TV, it's not a big deal. You are not used to seeing an unconscious man on the ground continue to take more blows. But that's what happens in this scene. And, that kid was a bully. He had it coming.
That kid was a piece of shit, and I loved watching his dad take one awful beating. Just an awful beating.
Brutal. It was brutal.
And after that, like he was just like, "You're not bullying anybody at school, are you? You're being nice to the children.
Yeah.
Please be nice to the other children, Tommy.
I'm going to need
Please."
you to lighten up.
Did you guys ever see felony fights on YouTube?
Of course.
Yes, felon fights. Oh,
Yeah.
I was training jits at the time, and I would put myself in that mentally put myself in that position. Like, how would I do in felony fights? Some of them okay. Some of these guys were completely not really that scared. I'm sure, Danny, you felt the same way. Some of them, and I've evolved my thinking on like what it takes to win a fight lately, right? And here there are three pillars. Danny, you could beat Anderson Silva. So is athleticism, aggression, and technique.
Okay.
And I think I used to think it was kind of like technique, and athleticism, or like maybe like technique was 80% of it, and it was very much like a guitar competition. I used to use that parallel, like are you better than me at guitar? Well, if you're good at all at guitar, actually everyone's better than me at guitar, right? So, but that was like where my head is, and it was like, oh well, this guy's trained, therefore he's better than everyone who hasn't trained, and then it helps. But there's three pillars: aggression, athleticism, and technique. And
would you say it's like 10% luck, 20% skilled, 15% concentrated power wheel.
Something like that. That's what I hear.
5% pleasure, 50% pain.
And 100% reason to remember the name.
Okay.
Yeah, the pillars. What are your pillar system? This sounds like Islam all of a sudden. I'm a little thrown off.
I'm feeling judged here. But yeah. So
I'm just the aggression pillar is the one I'm not so sure about.
Dude,
Tell me about the aggression pillar.
I don't know.
Oh, I think it's the most important. I think the aggression thing. I think the pillar of aggression is the most important thing in fighting.
I'm not sure.
One-on-one scenario.
Here's where that came from. Like I think I saw it mentioned, and I was talking to a brown belt. My wife has like her best friend's husband is a brown belt, and he came over, and we have like a matched friendship as if we were Arabs or something. Anyway, we have an arranged friendship. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm hanging out with this guy. He's actually pretty cool, and I used my weight system. I was like, yeah, every belt's worth about 30 pounds or so. A blue belt beats a white belt if he's within 30 pounds of that guy, roughly. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah. I also add 10 years to that. He's like, because the guy's like my age. He's like almost 50. And he's like, I go up against a guy, maybe same technique and athleticism level as me, but he's 25. He just wants it so much more. I'm like, meh. And I'm like, so aggression is like, it's a piece of it. Guys like, I'm so angry. I'm great at fighting. Nah. There's more to it than just anger. Fuck.
I think it's big. See, I think it's. I think if we're talking about like the fucking UFC or something like that, maybe not so much. We've seen Diego Sanchez come out foaming at the mouth.
Okay.
And it doesn't work out for him. Uh-huh. But like if it's a street fight, like we know how they always begin. How there's that sort of tentative like moment at the beginning where there might be talking or arguing or shoving or like maybe even a bullshit punch or something like to the shoulder or the arm or something like that. If there's one guy who's just there and he wants to hurt the other person real bad, he wants this to go as far as he can take it, and the other guy is still at like level 2. If there's 10 levels to like going off and going full Scion mode, he's at like a 2. He's like, fuck you, and the other guy is like, I'm ready to kill this man. I feel like that guy has a huge advantage. Like it doesn't matter if the other guy is bigger, stronger, and more skilled. The other guy's about to attack him. And he's not ready to be attacked.
Aggression with no technique is just out of control, and maybe it can't overcome, but it's worth something.
I would say,
I don't know.
I would say this. I think what you're calling aggression, I would call initiative and confidence. Because I'm back in jiu-jitsu now. I was rolling with a brown belt yesterday, and I was working guard passes on him. His guard game, really tricky. Worm guards, inverted De La Hiva guards. If you pause for even a moment to catch your breath, he's on a lapel, he's on your sleeve, he's setting something up, and now you have to break grips and counter instead of focusing on passing guard. And he told me right after, he's like, if you don't stop, you pass. So I think that is initiative. And then 2, confidence, which is what I think Kyle's talking about. For my first 10 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, my dad would drive me out to Santa Cruz, a 3-hour drive. We'd spend 8 hours at the facility, me warming up because they're all poorly organized little shit shows run by asshole martial arts instructors. It would take 8 hours. I would get on the mat, and I would get choked out within the first 30 seconds of the match and go home empty-handed. It took me 10 tournaments of that to realize I got to change my fucking attitude. If I step onto the mat believing anything other than I can destroy this guy, and I'm going to destroy this guy, I'm going to lose. You have to believe that. And I think that's
aggression.
confidence.
I think all the fights that I've seen, aggression won the fight every time. The other guy